Welcome back, Munchers. Today we're going to cover time and space complexity. If that sounds like a foreign concept to you, it should be as easy as slicing through melted butter by the end. Before we get started, it's time to clear up some confusion. At this moment, you might be saying, "What happened to DSAs? Teach me those." Now, hold your horses. Let me explain with an easy-to-understand metaphor. Suppose you go to an exotic island where the locals have never eaten with a spoon or fork. You show them how to use the utensils, and then put the spoon in a salad bowl and a fork in an oatmeal bowl. Now they've learned the tools and how to use them, but how do they know that a fork is a terrible utensil for oatmeal and that a spoon is not great for leafy greens? It might seem obvious even to someone who's never seen a spoon or fork before, but let's bring this back to the world of programming. If you have two programs that do the same thing, but one uses one algorithm and the other uses a different one, and they both run without errors, can you tell which one is better? It doesn't seem so easy now, does it? Well, that's where time and space complexity come in. Every time you run a program, it takes time to run and it needs space to save information. If we can figure out which program runs faster and uses less space, then we found out the best algorithm. The second important thing here is that we have to look at the worst case scenario. If somebody told you tomorrow that you have the chance to win the lottery up to $1 million, you can't go around to all the stores buying whatever you want because you don't know for sure that you've won that $1 million. In the worst case scenario, you could walk away with winning $0. We have to be prepared from a programming standpoint for the worst case as well. If you're searching for an item in a list of items from start to finish, the worst case is that the item is at the end of the list. It's going to take more time to reach the end of the list than if it was at the start. Therefore, the algorithm is measured taking the worst case into account. Okay, that sounds easy enough. So, do we just count how many seconds our program runs and look at the size it takes up on our computers in the worst case? Not exactly. Different programs take different amounts of space and time depending on the computer that you run them on. So instead, we want to measure time by how much input we provide a program. As the input increases, if the time increases at the same rate, we have a linear time complexity. If as the input increases, the time doesn't increase at all, we have a constant time complexity. These are terms we'll be exploring with examples in the future, so don't worry too much about the specifics here. Space works with looking at how things are stored. As we learn each data structure, we'll find the respective spaces they take up. Each data structure will have certain times to perform operations as well, like adding, deleting, and swapping elements. The more and more we explore these structures, the clearer the ideas of measuring time and space will become to you. With enough of these examples and diving into code, you will soon find yourself becoming an expert in analyzing data structures and algorithms, and at some point you'll be happy that you were able to take something that sounded really hard to say, time and space worst case complexity analysis, and are able to tell people what that is in the simplest terms possible. Last thing before we sign off today. I've received some input from different sources that they have no idea how Java works and want a quick tutorial to go over it. Comment down below on if you want a short Java tutorial that helps you out when we get to it. Otherwise, thanks for watching. If you liked what you saw here, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you know when the next one's coming. I've recently opened a Discord server for people interested in discussion that you can check out. See you next time.